gonna take you somewhere really, really cool. If you've ever driven on I-476, just behind the walls of the highway are an old stone ruin of an Italian water garden and a former estate. So I'm gonna take you there today. It's gonna be a really cool explore.
The really interesting thing about where we're going today is it's not hard to access. It's off a local paved path.
So right now I'm hiking on the Smedley Lieber Trail. This is in the Swarthmore Wallingford area. It's a 2-mile like paved trail, but it runs parallel to the Blue Route. So this is all stone walls under here, and it's got the English ivy growing on it. So you can see the walls wrap all the way around there, and then you can see some stone steps. I'm gonna go down in here. You can kind of see at one point in time this must have been a water feature, maybe a fountain coming out of here. And then I had read online that at one point in time there was a pool here, but that Swarthmore College filled it in for safety. But it's really neat. I was hoping more of the vegetation would be died down, but the fact that the ivy's here really obscures a lot of the walls. And of course, you have some graffiti, but otherwise in pretty good shape. And you can see that people are using this area. It looks like maybe somebody had a campfire down in here. It is so much more covered with the English ivy than this side. You can see minor spray paint, but nothing too bad. And then another sign that tells a little bit of a story of what was here was the type of plants you're gonna find. You know, the English ivy, this is Pachysandra. This wouldn't be something you'd find normally in the forest. The estate was one of the 3 parcels originally purchased by William Penn. In 1892, James Little bought the estate here. Then in 1927, this was bought by the Hinkston family, and they were big gardeners. They had a large orchid collection. They planted so many of the different flowers that you're gonna see here. If you come here in the springtime, there's all kinds of flowers that would be non-native and that you can tell were planted by people in this area. So the area that this estate was on was called Oak Knoll, and it was 32 acres. They had a swimming pool. They had a very large house. In 1964, they sold a lot of the land to be made into suburban homes. In 1967, the Hinkstons moved, and the house was demolished for the widening of the Blue Route. And really all that remains of the estate and the area are the flowers and plants that you can see in the springtime, and then the garden area. The highway widening project started in 1967 and it completed in 1992. So you can see this is quite an undertaking to widen the highway. And it's a shame that an estate like this had to be lost, but it's really cool that these gardens are hidden back here. And if you don't mind the road noise, this is a really cool place to come and explore. So you can see there's like an outer set of stone walls that make the pathway, and then you can come down into the garden area here, and that's probably where the fountain was and maybe the pool. And then you have this other set of stone steps that wraps up this way. It must have been really something. And it's in surprisingly good condition for being just left abandoned all these years. There's not that much litter back here. It's my husband down there. He came with me on this explore, but it's pretty cool. And then let's go down a little bit further because there's some more stone walls. This is a peaceful place because of the way the garden looks, but it really isn't because you have the Blue Route behind you, I-476, and it is quite noisy. So we've got another set of stone walls here. This is pretty cool. And then of course, everywhere you're walking, there's like stone steps that were inlaid here. They're covered with a lot of leaves and snow and things, but you can see them. Got another wall here. And then this one. And this kind of gives you some perspective. You go up and into the gardens and you can see the stone staircase there. Having like a fall spring today. It's absolutely beautiful. We're gonna hit 50 degrees. All the snow is melted, which is amazing. So I planned on spending lots of time outside today. And the other reason that's motivating me is we're having another very big snowstorm move in. So I am close to the Philadelphia region, and we get hit a lot when some of these nor'easters and coastal storms come in. Not that we're that close to the coast, but close enough that we get impacted. So we have another huge snowstorm coming Sunday night into Monday. So all the snow just basically melted and we're gonna get whammed again. A little closer to the creek area, and you can see things are starting to thaw. Still some layers of ice and stuff. You can see there's some rhododendrons, and like I said, this area really fills in with beautiful flowers in the spring because what was planted with the estate. And if you're looking for this spot from the multi-use trail, just look for these cinder blocks. That's kind of your giveaway. So I didn't film too much of the hike because really the Smedley Leaper Trail has such background noise from the Blue Route. It's a paved trail, there isn't that much to see, but it's another chance for people to get active and have a place to exercise. So since we're in the area, we're gonna stop at the Crum Creek Dam, which is like a waterfall. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed seeing the water garden ruins from the old estate, and then also seeing the little Crum Creek Falls here. If you're interested in more videos about ruins and abandoned places, I have a whole playlist on my channel that you can check out. And some of the ruins are as old as from 1711, so a lot of really cool stuff on there that I think you'll enjoy.